All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to Allegedly What and Why. This week, we're diving deep into some of the most talked about topics of the year. First, we kick it off with the latest Biden controversy. Did he really touch Lady Melania's behind? Then we dive into ICE's ongoing actions and lay out 10 reasons why Trump's tough policies should be a game changer for the country. Next, we get into a heated Oval Office showdown with Trump, Vance, and Zelensky, and what this means for global relations. We also break down the global tariffs war, explain what a tariff really is, and why China is going after Canada. In entertainment news, LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith are at it again, while we update you on Diddy's latest moves and Tory Lanez' legal battles. Plus, we discuss the future of hip hop with the latest Kendrick vs. Drake, rappers getting released from jail in 2025 or already got released. And out of my curiosity, I wanted to see what's going on with the LGBTQ whatever movement stands today and see what's moving on with that. And finally, we'll just talk about what to expect in the next few months across political, entertainment, pop culture, all of that stuff. So, further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 6. Oh, over here smacking the microphone. This is episode 6, so get ready to tune in for the latest scoop on the biggest stories making waves in 2025. Let's go. So, first topic I want to go over today, guys. Let me go up real quick. Just going through my notes. There's so much stuff's been going on, it's crazy. Alrighty. First topic is going to be, what is the deal with ICE and what are the numbers? What's really going on? Today is the 13th, so I just figured, the numbers should be somewhat. Because there's a statistic that I saw that they've already deported more people and detained more illegal immigrants than they did the whole year last year in just 1 month. So it's pretty interesting, honestly. It blows my mind. Dang. Did I lose my notes? Hold on 1 second, folks. I apologize. Give me 30 seconds while I look for these notes real quick. Alrighty, guys. As of March 13th, 2025, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has reported a significant increase in enforcement activities under the current administration. Now, for arrest, in the first 50 days of President Trump's new term, ICE arrested approximately 32,000 migrants. Notably, 70% of these individuals faced charges or had been convicted of crimes, including 14,000 convicted criminals and 10,000 with pending charges. You could find that on the New York Post, you can find that on CNN. But as in February 2025, ICE conducted more arrests than any month over the past 7 years, reflecting the administration's aggressive immigration policies. Detentions. Immigration detention centers are currently operating at full capacity, housing approximately 47,600 detainees. Holy shit. Policy changes. The administration has expanded enforcement actions, including in sensitive locations such as schools, hospitals, and places of worship, reversing previous policies that limited ICE operations in these areas. Now, guys, the public response, the, it's pretty much intensified enforcement and its expanded ICE operations have raised concerns about potential racial profiling and strained relationships between immigrant communities and local law enforcement. So, these developments indicate a substantial escalation in ICE's enforcement and removal operations in recent months, pretty much. And what I really wanted to do was give you guys 10 reasons why this is a great thing, that all this stuff with ICE is. And then I wanted to give you guys 10 reasons why this is like considerably horrible. So, number one, we're going to start off with the 10 reasons why people agree and think this is a good thing. So, number one, enforcing the law. Illegal immigration is against federal law, and strict enforcement ensures that laws are upheld rather than ignored. Number two, prioritizing criminal deportations. 70% of recent ICE arrests involved in individuals with criminal records or pending charges, reducing crime rates. Number three, protecting American jobs. Reducing illegal immigration is seen as a way to prevent wage suppression and increase job opportunities for American citizens. Number four, relieving strain on social services. Illegal immigrants often use public services such as healthcare, education, and housing assistance, which cost taxpayers billions. Enhancing national security, stricter border control, and deportation efforts aim to prevent potential threats, including drug trafficking, human smuggling, and terrorism. Reducing government spending or spending. Fewer undocumented immigrants relying on government aid means reduced spending on social programs and law enforcement resources. Number seven, encouraging legal immigration. Some argue that strict enforcement discourages illegal entry and encourages people to immigrate through legal processes. Number eight, strengthening the economy through the merit-based immigration. The administration aims to shift immigration towards a system that prioritizes highly skilled workers over unregulated entry. Number nine, responding to the public demand. Many Americans support stronger immigration laws, and Trump's actions align with what a large portion of voters want. Number 10, restoring order at the border. Recent migrant surges have overwhelmed border facilities and mass deportations, so it aims to reduce overcrowding and chaos. Now, the 10 reasons why this is like considerably horrible. Number one, humanitarian concerns. Mass deportations often separate families, including U.S. citizens' children, from undocumented parents. Number two, economic impact on business. Industries like agriculture, construction, and hospitality rely on immigrant labor, and deportations lead to worker shortages. Number three, cost to taxpayers. ICE raids and deportations cost billions in law enforcement, legal proceedings, and detention center operations. Number four, disrupting communities. Many undocumented immigrants have lived in the U.S. for decades, contributing to local economies and communities. Number five, overcrowded detention centers. Reports of inhumane conditions in ICE facilities, including poor medical care and abuse, have sparked outrage. Number six, damage to the U.S. reputation. Some see aggressive immigration enforcement as a violation of human rights, harming America's global image. Targeting of non-criminals. Despite claims of prioritizing criminals, many deported individuals that have no criminal records beyond immigration violations. Number 8. Strain on local law enforcement. State and local police often have to work with ICE, diverting resources away from solving other crimes. Number 9. Potential for racing profiling. Critics argue that these policies disproportionately target Hispanic communities, leading to wrongful detentions. Number 10. Negative impact on legal immigration. Fear of ICE has discouraged even legal immigrants from applying for visas, green cards, or citizenships. Well, I'm not too biased, guys, because like I've got it in my family just as much as you do, and I wouldn't want to see them go. But you know, the law's the law, and so I just stay quiet. But honestly, there you guys go. If you're listening to this, you guys got 10 reasons to understand why people agree with this, and then 10 reasons why people don't agree with it, you know, and I'm kind of 50-50 just because I know a lot of people, but I just want us to be safe. I want everybody to be safe. Did you guys hear about recent events have sparked discussions regarding President Joe Biden's interactions with former First Lady Melania Trump during the inauguration ceremony? Specifically, some observers have scrutinized moments captured on video, suggesting potential inappropriate contact. In one widely circulated video, President Biden is seen greeting Melania Trump as she arrives at the White House with former President Donald Trump. The footage shows Biden extending his hand toward Melania's lower back, which some commentators have interpreted as inappropriate. Body language experts have analyzed these interactions, noting that such gestures can be common in formal settings and may not necessarily indicate properly. However, interpretations vary and public opinions remain divided on the matter. It's essential to approach such interpretations with caution, as brief moments captured on video can be misleading without full context. But as of now, neither party has publicly addressed these observations, so for a visual perspective, if you want to look it up, go check it out. It's pretty interesting. The thing that is wild is, like, we all know who he's. Creepy Joe. Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe. He's all of them, guys. We know he did it. We know he got called out on it. But it is what it is. The whole world's watching. I mean, you can't get in his face right then and there, no? That'd be pretty funny, though. Well, guys, next topic. Guys, as of February 28th, 2025, in the Oval Office, the meeting between President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and the Ukrainian President Zelensky was notably contentious. This discussion, initially intended to finalize the Ukraine-United States Mineral Resources Agreement, but it developed into a heated exchange, leading into an abrupt end without any resolution. Key points from the meeting. We'll go over it real quick. Divergent objectives. The Trump administration pressed Ukraine to make concessions to Russia to expedite the end of the ongoing conflict. Its contrast, President Zelensky sought security assurances against potential future Russian aggression, expressing skepticism about Russia's commitment to any agreements. Technically, what that means is he's scared to agree with Russia, knowing that Russia could potentially go back on their word and do whatever they want to do regardless of the deal they made. And so the public confrontation during this televised meeting, both President Trump and Vice President Vance openly criticized and raised their voices at Zelensky like he was a child. and I enjoyed it. I watched every second of it. But marking an unprecedented public reprimand of a visiting head of state. Well, the reactions of this meeting: international support for Zelensky following the confrontation, numerous U.S. allies, or allies, and global leaders expressed support for President Zelensky, implicitly rebuking President Trump's approach. Russians' approval. Russian officials lauded the outcome, directing criticism towards Zelensky, while Russian media expressed surprise at the event. Domestic political divide. In the United States, reactions partisan split along partisan lines. Members of the Republican Party largely endorsed President Trump's conduct, where Democrats condemned it. So, subsequent developments: suspension of military aid. 3 days post meeting, the Trump's administration suspended all military aid to Ukraine, escalating concerns about Ukraine's defense capabilities, ongoing conflicts, all of that. Ceasefire proposal. Ukraine proposed a 30-day ceasefire with Russia following discussions with the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. President Trump indicated that Russia's agreement can significantly end the conflict, but warned of severe financial penalties if Russia did not comply. Zelensky's measured response. In a subsequent press conference, President Zelensky adopted a cautious and diplomatic stance regarding the proposed ceasefire, contrasting with the earlier tension-filled Oval Office meeting. But the events surrounding this meeting had significant implications for the U.S.-Ukraine relations and the broader geopolitical landscape, influencing diplomatic strategies and international perceptions. I mean, it was tough, guys. But I mean, following the contentious Oval Office meeting on February 28, 2025, Zelensky's diplomatic initiatives, Europeans' engagement. So, like, 10 days ago on March 2nd, Zelensky met with the leaders from the European nations, like Canada and NATO officials, and at the 2025 London summit. And this summit aimed to secure guarantees for Ukraine and development a peace proposal to present to the United States. But during the summit, Zelensky indicated that the mineral resources deal was the U.S. That the resources deal with the U.S. was ready to be signed through the refrained from commenting on the previous Oval Office incident, suggesting that it was best to leave this to history. So technically, the proposed Ukraine/United States mineral resource agreement, published on February 25, 2025, establishes terms of joint investment in Ukraine's natural resources, including critical rare earth elements, oil and gas, as well as reconstruction efforts. Signing prospects as of March 13th, today, the agreement has not been signed. However, both parties have expressed intentions to finalize the deal, with President Zelensky indicating readiness during the London summit. In summary, while President Zelensky has not publicly expressed regret over the Oval Office meeting, he is electively engaged in diplomatic efforts to repair relations and move forward with this mineral resources agreement. He really wants to put an end to this war. I think it's finally getting to him. Next, guys, I want to talk about why is China putting 100% tariffs on Canada? Why are there so many tariffs going around? Like, this is like some beginning start to World War III. And what the hell even is a tariff? Do you know what a tariff is? I don't know what a tariff is, so let's figure that out. In response to Canada's tariffs on Chinese goods, China announced on March 8, 2025, that it would impose significant tariffs on Canadian agricultural products, including a 100% tariff on rapeseed oil, peas, and oil cakes, and a 25% tariff on aquatic products and pork. Global tariff increases, as in the U.S. tariffs. On March 4th, President Trump imposed a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico, excluding a 10% tariff on Canadian energy, and increased tariffs on all Chinese goods to 20%. Global impact as of March 12th, as of yesterday, a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum products from all countries took effect, leading to global concerns about economic repercussions and potential supply chain disruptions. Hurry up and get your cars. This rapid escalation of tariffs among major economies have sparked fears of a global trade war, reminiscent of past economic conflicts that have led to widespread repercussions. But while these measures are primarily economic, the tensions they create can strain international relations. However, it's important to note that as of now, these disputes remain within the economic realm, and there is no indication that they are leading toward a military conflict like the World War III. But in summary, the current awareness and wave of tariffs and reflect heightened economic protectionism and military measures among nations. These actions contribute to global economic uncertainty, but yet they do not signify an immediate path towards global military conflict. A tariff is a tax, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat, a tariff is only a tax that a government places on imported, or exported goods. It is used to control trade. It is used to protect local industries, and it is also used as a tool in the economic disputes between countries. Why do governments use tariffs? Well, number one, they protect local businesses. Number two, they generate revenue. Number three, they retaliate in trade wars. And number four, it controls the market prices. How do these tariffs affect you? Higher prices, job protection, and trade conflicts. Meaning, if foreign products are taxed heavily, prices go up. Helps local businesses compete with international companies, and it can lead to other countries imposing tariffs in return, affecting exports. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about LeBron and Stephen A. Smith. So, technically, I keep on smacking my microphone. I apologize, but LeBron James recently called out ESPN's Stephen A. Smith after the sports commentator made some comments about LeBron's son, Bronny James, and his future in the NBA. But Stephen A. Smith, known for his bold takes and strong opinions, mentioned something about Bronny's skill level and future potential. LeBron, clearly protective of his family, didn't take too kindly to this and responded on social media telling Stephen A., "Keep my boy out your mouth." Technically, Will Smith him. LeBron's response message was pretty clear: stay out of this family's business. In a world where sports commentators often critique athletes, LeBron felt that it was crossing a line to bring his son into it, especially as Bronny has his own path ahead of him. This wasn't just a one-off moment either. LeBron has been very vocal about how he wants his family treated and has made it clear he won't tolerate unnecessary commentary on them. Well, why is this even a big deal? LeBron's protectiveness. LeBron is known for being fiercely protective of his family, and this shows just how he values his son's journey. Stephen A. Smith's reputation has a history of making controversial statements. However, this one hit close to home, as it involved a personal family member. Public perception, fans are divided. Some support LeBron's stance, while others feel that Stephen A. Smith was just doing his job as a commentator, which is to critique players and their families. I don't know. But what's next? It remains to be seen if the two will patch things up, but one thing's for sure: LeBron's reactions is a reminder of just how much athletes, especially public figures, will defend their loved ones, and they're as human as we are. And Stephen A. Smith might think twice before publicly addressing LeBron's family again. But it's definitely a moment worth discussing, especially for sports fans that, who follow the drama in the NBA. But I mean, what's your take on it? Should Stephen A. Smith even have stayed clear of the whole commenting on Bronny? I mean, the thing is, too, guys, ladies and gentlemen, is like Bronny's. I was going over Bronny's statistics in high school, and the kid was a baller. But I mean, his freshman year, he only averaged 4.1 points per game over 34 games, contributing to, a successful season. Sophomore year in 2020, 2021, he was injured. And his junior year in 2021, 2022, he had an average of 8.8 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.3 steals over 29 games. His senior year, he averaged 14.2 points, 5.5 rebounds. I mean, you guys probably wouldn't believe me, but when I was balling before I got into high school, I was averaging 30 points a game. But then I started making music and started getting in trouble with the ladies and all that stuff. But the people that know, ask them, and they'll vouch. But the fact that he's in the NBA with those stats blows my mind too. I mean, it's obviously nepotism, but good for him. Good for LeBron. I mean, it is what it is, guys. Let's move on though from this different topic, guys. I want to give you guys a quick little update. What's going on with Diddy? What's anything new going on? Well, nothing really other than all the stuff that's finally kind of getting closure in a way. I mean, the guy's getting charged with sexual assault, trafficking allegations, gang allegations. And the crazy thing is like there's a lawsuit accused Diddy along with the NFL star Odell Beckham and comedian Drewski of orchestrating a gang in March 2018. The lawsuit alleges that Maui's police chief, John Pelletier, helped cover up the incident. All the involved parties have denied these allegations. That's huge. Whatever's going on is going to be insane. But Media and Entertainment Impact Hulu canceled a reality series centered on Diddy and his family, and the Recording Academy is reconsidering his invitation to the Grammy Awards. Well, the Grammys just happened. So, but what about Tory Lanez? The Canadian rapper and singer has been in the spotlight his like whole life. But due to the shooting and his 10 years in prison, the guy's still making music. He's dropping bangers with DDG, and he's about to work on an album. So this whole thing is it's like 50-50 in his favor. So not only that, I think Megan Thee Stallion even went out on the internet and said she slept with the guy, but told the police that she never did. So like the whole world knows that she's a liar. And not only that, if that's the case, then like free the guy, free Tory Lanez, man, because at the end of the day, that chick got him arrested. I mean, she could have just been lying about the whole thing. But, I want to give you guys a couple of rappers that are getting out of jail this year that everybody knows, but they're either getting out of jail, getting released. There's either talk about it, or they're already out. They're already out. So, shout out to the boy Young Thug. You already know he escaped those RICO charges. The whole thing was crazy. Shout out to the boy Gunna. He got released. You already know he was going down with your boy too, with RICO charges. Shout out to Lil Wayne. It looks like in 2020 he was gonna be doing some time in 2020 with a 10-year sentence for illegal possession of firearms, but he's looking good. Kodak Black looks like he has a bunch of charges coming up and stuff like that, but he's looking pretty good. Tay K, known for his viral song The Race, was sentenced to 55 years, but looks like there might be some room for an appeal. Might be released this year. We'll never know, but we'll see. Bobby Shmurda got released. You already know. He was released in 2021 though, or a couple years ago. The rapper C Murder by Corey Miller. We got Rallo, aka Terrell Davis. And you already know NBA Youngboy got released too. So, shout out, man. Shout out. Let's hurry up and talk about this Super Bowl halftime show aftermath. Kendrick and Drake, y'all. Taylor Swift got booed at the halftime Super Bowl. The only thing too is that like The showdown, the tension between Drake and Kendrick Lamar has been ramping up following some subtle jabs that they throw at each other. And pretty much the statements are just back and forth, but it looks like Drake is kind of like slowing back into like what he does best, R&B, making pop tracks and stuff like that. And it looks like Kendrick might like take a little vacay. He's been popping out doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? But Drake's actions post showdown with Kendrick Lamar have caught more eyes, from sharing cryptic Instagram posts to allegedly having a private conversations about his career direction. There's an air of suspense surrounding his next moves. I mean, upcoming projects, there's been speculation that Drake might release a surprise project soon that could address the tension between Kendrick or reveal more about his side of the story. As usual, fans of both Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been engaged in heated debates about who has the upper hand. Some are rooting for Drake's dominance in the industry, while others believe Kendrick is the more versatile and artistic rapper. But fellow artists have weighed in on the ongoing beef, and some are siding with Drake, citing his cultural influence, while others are supporting Kendrick for his lyricism and authenticity. The media is fueling the drama even more, with outlets focusing heavily on the idea of a rivalry between the two artists. Social media is abuzz with hot takes and memes about their showdown, contributing to a growing conversation. But as of now, both Drake and Kendrick are rumored to be working on new music, potentially using the tension between them as fuel for upcoming albums and singles. The release of these projects might be what defines the next chapter of the rivalry. Will this continue into 2025, 2026, and 2027? The longevity of both artists' careers will be there. The drama surrounding their rivalry is unlikely, but to fade anytime soon, you never know. Whether this will lead into an all-out hip-hop war or simply a friendly competition remains to be seen. I asked ChatGPT, I was like, what's going on with the, LGBTQ movement now that Trump banned some certain things, and what's really going on? And I'm just going to sum it up really, really quick without getting into too much detail, because not to like offend anybody, I really don't care about any of it. Realistically, though, it just says, in summary, while certain aspects of the LGBTQ movement have made significant progress, such as fight for marriage equality and the increasing visibility of the LGBTQ individuals, there are still ongoing struggles for full equality, especially for transgender individuals and LGBTQ people, plus for people of color. The movement has not disappeared and is now adapted to new challenges and continue to evolve. All right. Last, guys, I wanted to give you guys what we should potentially be expecting in the next couple months. This is just a quick little AI given, like a quick little heads up. Number 1, political landscape. Presidential campaigns heat up with the 2025 presidential election drawing closer. The political scene will become more intense as it was. Economic outlook. Inflation and cost of living. Inflation continues to affect American families, especially in the areas of housing, food, and energy. Interest rates and Federal Reserve policy. The Federal Reserve is expected to continue managing interest rates to curb inflation. The job market is expected to stay relatively strong, but certain industries may face layoffs or job cuts, particularly in tech and other sectors that have seen rapid growth during the pandemic. However, sectors like healthcare, education, and trade may remain more stable. There could be more continued volatility in the stock market due to the factors like economic uncertainty, interest rate hikes, and geopolitical tensions. This could impact your 401k investments and consumer confidence. The mental health crisis continues to affect Americans, with increased awareness of mental health challenges such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Public health campaigns and policy reforms to address mental health care could increase. Racial and social justice movements continue to advocate for police reform, ending systemic racism, and addressing income inequality. Protests and campaigns could flare up in response to high-profile incidents or legal rulings. Gun control and Second Amendment rights. With gun violence continuing to affect communities, there may be renewed calls for gun control legislation. Yeah, right. The war in the Ukraine continues to be a global point of tension, but to expect the U.S. to remain involved with the military aid and diplomacy while the situation evolves on the ground, sanctions against Russia and support for Ukrainian sovereignty will likely continue to be debated. The U.S. will continue to grapple with its relationships with China, particularly concerning trade, technology, and military posturing in the South China Sea. In regions like the Middle East, instability from ongoing conflicts in Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan could continue to spill over into global security concerns. Technological advancements, AI, cryptocurrency, social media changes, streaming wars and content creation as streaming platforms like Netflix, Disney, and Hulu continue to compete, expect new content to be released. Celebrity scandals and public opinions expect some high-profile celebrity scandals or court cases to unfold. Sports and major events, infrastructure and transportations, like NASA and private space companies like SpaceX will continue to explore space. Cultural and societal shifts like workplace evaluation, evolution, and consumer behavior. Daily life and quality of life, cost of living and social movements. And, in summary, the next few months will be filled with significant political, economic, and societal development. Whether it's in the realms of global diplomacy, legal debates, or technological innovation, Americans will likely face a turbulent yet transformative period. Well, guys, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I know it wasn't like a 2-hour podcast. I know it wasn't, a whole hour long. I gave you guys a good 35 minutes of some really, really good content. A lot of solid facts. And it's all legit, all real, all based off of sources that you guys can find yourself through AI. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Today is episode 6. And I hope everybody has an amazing day. Stay blessed, stay focused, work hard, keep hustling, guys. Love, live, laugh. And don't get caught up in all the BS out here. Stay focused. Know what to do. Peace.